What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Kevin Samuels, you know, the one thing I forgot to ask you when I was on your platform is where's your wife? Where is the woman that you are married to that can prove your thought process on what it takes to have a successful black family actually works because you have one yourself?
I didn't support it at all.
Okay.
I thought it was divisive. I thought it was very Eurocentric in his approach to criticism.
You know, some of y'all like what Kevin had to say. Some of y'all don't. I'm not here to judge that. It's your choice. He had over 1 million subscribers because there are millions of men who don't feel heard, who don't feel listened to, who don't feel respected. But at the same time, I think that men, you know, we got to start listening to women, man. We got some men out here that just really, unfortunately, somebody screwed your head on backward.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus?
No, that's a problem. That's a problem.
But then I realized you're not even married. Not only are you not married, you have been married twice, divorced twice.
Now, am I saying that there aren't women who have unrealistic expectations? No, you guys know I've done videos. There's women who have ridiculous expectations. But do we have to talk to them that way? No.
You got your masculinity from the internet because maybe you didn't have a daddy. Maybe you hate single mothers because your father didn't spend time with you.
I think his expectations for women were very superficial in terms of what was important.
So therefore, you mean to tell me you know all that it takes to have a successful marriage, but it didn't even work in your own life? Interesting.
There was a heavy focus on how much you make and how good you look.
Healthy, well-balanced, strong, happy men do not feel the need to degrade women, do not feel the need to talk down to women, do not feel that happy, strong, well-balanced men do not talk to women like this.
No woman is going to look good forever.
Black women are availing ourselves to all of the options that our hard work and circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more black women consider and even exercise. So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now.
You have a right to say, I don't want to date a single mom. But when you're marketing that and using that as an avenue to express vitriol amongst millions of single mothers out here, some of whom helped raise your raggedy like that mama was your last line of defense between you and you being a little damn male hooker.
It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. Guess what? Your average good guy that wants to just a good woman to love, he is not sitting on social media bashing people. He don't have time for it. He too busy living his life, working hard, taking care of his responsibility.
Another question I failed to ask is, where are your children? Are you a father? Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction?
Telling women that you are too fat or too small or too broke, and that's the reason why you don't have a man, that is psychopathological and it is destructive to our community. I did not agree with his approach at all.
But I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna say it real loud and clear. God ain't in it.
You actually owe every single black woman a thank you card because you're nothing without us. Let me say that clearly. Kevin Samuels, you are nothing without the black woman because your popularity is based off of tearing down black women.
And the fact that he did have a lot of people who did speaks to how decadent and speaks to how self-hating we can be as a people.
Without your mama, you would be dead, Negro. Can't you just express your own wishes without using that as a weapon to make people feel bad about a situation that they probably already feel bad about?
Well, frankly, it's a whole new world. A world in which black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose, because now we get to do the choosing.
Several months later.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women.
Guys, I want you to get your notebooks, pens, something, pull your phone out, take notes, because she's about to inform us of some mind-blowing data, and chances are you've never heard this before in your life.
Okay, so every night I might get 100 single women.
Really? Guys, I'm done. I know, man. I know a few of you guys are like, please, Chisha, not one of these videos. Take it seriously. I can't.
Around all through your 20s. Stop around all through your 30s. You give your 20s to the street Negroes.
Okay.
You give your 30s to the pretty boys. They use you up, dog you out. Now you're in your 40s.
Damn.
And nobody's jumping to marry you.
But if you're average and you're not drop dead gorgeous, I've said it before. What's drop dead gorgeous? Face and body.
That's not very nice. Where is the love? See, listen.
Never encourage black women to settle. The fact that black women
let me just okay.
Please, can I finish my statement? Just
no,
this
you
one
can't.
statement.
No. Now you're gonna listen.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Now you're gonna listen. Because I listened to you, so now you're gonna listen.
Right.
It's getting heated.
It's giving pick me. It's giving pick me.
If you're not drop dead gorgeous and you're looking at other people and comparing situations to drop dead gorgeous women who got men tolerating their BS.
But they all think they're 10s. They all think they're 10s. They all think they're the... They would be mad at her for this.
So degrees and titles and cars and houses and money. I had 2 clients, a doctor and a lawyer, back when I was matchmaking. Couldn't beg, borrow, or steal a man.
It's giving pick me, and you do this to every black woman that comes on here.
But
and
you
says,
watch my show.
honey.
But you here at 4 o'clock in the
I
morning.
love differing opinions.
Right
I
now,
love
watching
differing
my show,
opinions.
so why
But
are
it's
you
giving
here?
pick me,
If
Kendra.
you feel-
Just
if
because
you
you
feel
don't
that
have
way,
high
why are you
standards
up
for
with
yourself,
me
Kendra, doesn't
at
mean that
4
black women
a.m.?
can't have high
If
standards
you
for
feel
themselves.
that way.
And so now you're saying it ain't no good black men. No. There's plenty of good black men. The problem is you gave your best years to men who didn't deserve it.
You are the common denominator in your life. You may not be the type of woman that men want to marry.
As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year.
Constantly got an ego, projection, high standards, demanding, picky, never happy, constantly high maintenance. Everything's a problem.
I would argue, again, and say that this is not a small sect of women. This is most women. And I don't mean just black women, Western women.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Who are looking for a relationship. Most of these women want committed relationships. Out of those 100 women, I may get 10 men. So let's just start right there. If I have 100 single women and 10 men.
Might have been married once, but listen, as they've gotten older and it gets worse and worse and worse, the attitudes get worse and worse, the entitlement, the hyper independence, everybody else is the issues. Never looking at self, and this is what I want to be clear about.
Every woman is not going to get a man.
Right.
Just from that right there, okay? There's not enough.
Right.
Now, out of the 100 women, let's say out of those 10 men, there's only really 2 men that the 100 women really want to date.
The problem is you gave your best years to men who didn't deserve it, and now you see your biological clock is ticking.
You may not be the type of woman that men want to marry. If you don't have men trying to, when they date you and do get a chance to know you, and they don't want to marry you, they don't want to be with you, you might be the problem.
No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose.
And your beauty clock. See, you got a biological clock, how long you can have those babies, and you got a beauty clock, how long you gonna be looking good.
Okay,
Wow.
So now we have 100 women with 2 men. Right there, every woman is not gonna get a man.
Hey, but those men are gonna get hella cheeks, yo.
But I'm saying to the women who tend to be nasty, mean-spirited, I saw it in my matchmaking, And I looked at these women and I got a totally different perspective. And that's not just black women. There are many women, white, black, Latina.
Women on Instagram diss Boyce Watkins when pandering goes wrong. Confession. When I was 46, this is Boyce talking, 46 years old, single, millionaire with a PhD. Boyce Watkins wants you to know he's a PhD. If you know, you know, man. Let's keep reading it. He goes on to say, I could have had nearly any woman I wanted. I chose to marry a woman in her 40s because I didn't want to marry an idiot or a child, he says. Strategic men don't just pick women based off what they look like. So modern women did what they do best. They turned on him for speaking the truth. Like this female commentator says, no, he couldn't have had any woman he wanted. You did the best you could do, old ninja. Here's another comment from another woman that says the delusional statement saying he could have had any woman he wanted is comedy.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
And another person here, a woman chimed in and said, I had to read that several times to be sure I read correctly. The other chick responded back and says, yeah, he definitely leads with his money if that's what he believes.
A biological clock, how long you gonna have them babies, and a beauty clock, how long you gonna be looking good. And guess what? When you hit those 40s, don't get me wrong, black don't crack, but everybody declines.
Woo! A young black woman in college, and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family. I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with
Damn!
I'm sorry.
different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Are you kidding?
George YouTube, listen, real quick, it's time to talk about the sponsor of today's video. And it could be you. Hear me out. If you enjoy the content produced here on the Coffee Pot, you can support by drinking coffee through one of my handcrafted coffee mugs right here. I've talked about this before, but I haven't gone into detail about what exactly goes into this coffee mug. What you see written around the mug there, all the different taglines from the Coffee Pot. Everybody knows the
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
and
Women.
along with.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
So I first start with the plain black mug for your project. Then I clean and prep the mug so I can add my beautiful handwriting. Listen guys, I'm a podcaster, not an artist. I try my best. I then use an oil-based marker to write all the different taglines that we all love from the Coffee Pot. And once that's done, and hopefully there's not too many mistakes, but it happens a lot, I leave the mugs to dry for about an hour. That's when I begin prepping the art resin, which I would then use to apply and seal your custom mug, the outside of your mug. The resin works great to protect the writing once it's cured and firm. The curing process usually takes about 72 hours, and then bam, the resin is fully cured and firm. And finally, after 4 days, your custom mug is ready to be packaged and sent directly to your doorstep. In other words, for less than $2 an hour, I will handcraft a custom coffee mug for you, and you get to support the channel. Why would you drink coffee from some boring mug from some random store? And the worst part is they probably don't drink coffee. Hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and get your custom mug today.
Click the link pinned to the top of the comment section to get your custom coffee mug today. And please do us all a favor and don't bitch about the price.